At the heart of the African savanna, where the golden sun rises over endless grasslands, a great lion king ruled over the land. His name was Mufasa, a strong and wise leader, beloved by all. One morning, the kingdom celebrated the birth of his son, Simba, the future king. The wise shaman, Rafiki, held the newborn prince high above Pride Rock, presenting him to the animals of the Pride lands. The herds bowed in respect, honoring the young cub who would one day take his place in the great circle of life. As Simba grew, his father taught him the ways of a true king, the importance of respect, courage, and responsibility. But young Simba, filled with excitement, dreamed of the day he would rule. Believing that being king meant having no worries, but not all rejoiced in Simba's future. In the shadows, Mufasa's jealous brother, Scar, resented being denied the throne. He plotted with his hyena allies, setting a plan in motion that would change the Pride lands forever. One day, Simba and his best friend, Nala, wandered into a forbidden place, the elephant graveyard. There, Scar's hyena minions surrounded them, ready to attack. But just in time, Mufasa arrived, rescuing them with a mighty roar. Scar's plan was far from over. He lured Simba to a deep gorge, where, with the help of his hyenas, he unleashed a stampede of wildebeests. As Simba clung to a fragile ledge, Mufasa rushed to save his son. With all his strength, Mufasa leaped toward safety. But as he reached for help, Scar stood above him, watching, waiting. And then, with a wicked smile, Scar struck his brother's paws. Mufasa fell. The great king was gone. Scar approached young Simba, his voice filled with false sorrow. He whispered a terrible lie, making Simba believe Mufasa's death was his fault. Overcome with guilt, the cub ran, disappearing into the unknown. Scar seized the throne. Far from the Pride lands, Simba collapsed under the scorching sun. But fate had other plans. A carefree meerkat named Timon and his jolly warthog friend, Pumba, found the lost cub. They introduced him to their way of life, no worries, no responsibilities. Hakuna Matata, they called it. And so, Simba grew up in the jungle, far from his past. Years passed. Simba became strong, but his heart carried a weight he did not understand. Then one night, Rafiki, the wise shaman, found him. He led Simba to a quiet pool, where the water shimmered with magic, and there, in the reflection, Mufasa appeared. His voice echoed through the night, "Remember who you are." At that moment, Simba realized the truth. He was the rightful king. And he had to return. Back in the Pride lands, Scar's rule had turned the kingdom to ruin. The land was dry, the herds had vanished, and fear hung in the air. Then, from the shadows, Simba appeared. The rightful king had come home. A fierce battle erupted. Simba challenged Scar, demanding justice. But Scar, desperate to hold on to power, turned on his own hyenas, blaming them for his crimes. His betrayal was his downfall. The hyenas, angered, surrounded him. And in the end, Scar, who had plotted and deceived for so long, faced the fate he had created. With Scar defeated, Simba took his place on Pride Rock. As he let out a powerful roar, the sky opened. And the rains returned, washing away the darkness. The circle of life had been restored. Time passed, and the kingdom flourished once more. And on a bright new day, a new life was welcomed. Rafiki lifted Simba's newborn cub high above Pride Rock, just as he had done before. A new chapter had begun, and so, the circle of life continued.